Hey, shalom, shalom. First, giving all praises to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Shai. Today, class, racism of the ungodly has influenced the heart of Israel, which we know is the 12 tribes. Today, class, we want to try to bring understanding through the scriptures and the spirit of the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai, to just address the concept of how, as a nation that was chosen by the Most High, how we've been influenced to do everything that's abominable to the Most High God. So we want to go through the scripture today, and we'll start out with, before we start out, I just want to share with you, I saw a video of one of our Israelite brothers that still haven't awakened to the biblical truth. But I want to share this video with you because we're talking about LeBron James. He spoke on the matter of what he was seeing, and the media, which we know who the media is ran by, had a problem with what he was saying. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this quick video before we get the class started. Go ahead.
LeBron, now the harsh words for the NFL coming from one of the biggest names.
Say harsh words.
LeBron James taking direct aim on some NFL team owners, saying they have what he calls a slave mentality. Here's ABC's Adrian Vander.
The biggest name in sports, LeBron James, off-court and uncensored, blasting owners of another league, the NFL.
Man, the NFL, they got a bunch of old white men on teams, and they got that slave mentality. And it's like, this is my team, you do what I tell y'all to do, or we get rid of y'all.
James' scathing comments aimed at the response to a player's right to protest, fueled by former quarterback Colin Kaepernick taking a knee in 2016. Critics claim Kaepernick has been frozen out of the league ever since. It's the same reason some celebrities are turning down invites to perform in the upcoming Super Bowl halftime show. The NFL has yet to officially confirm who will appear. The band Maroon 5 has been rumored to headline. James has been one of the most vocal of any player in any sport, criticizing the president.
The number one job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a fuck about the people.
Which prompted an on-air war with commentator Laura Ingraham.
As someone once said, shut up and dribble.
We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
On his HBO show, James says he'll continue to express himself.
I'm very educated about what I believe in, and I'm not doing it in a violent way. I'm not knocking on your door saying, listen, I'm kneeling today, and if you don't kneel with me, I'm knocking you out. But people go crazy when when things are done outside the box.
And James said the NBA is more.
Now, to bring a spiritual concept to what's going on, now, LeBron has not waken up to this biblical truth, so he was addressing, you could hear the hesitation in his voice where he say, well, people seem to get offensive when you speak outside the box. No, in reality, is when the slaves of this nation start speaking up. That's when people, which we know is the other nation, get uncomfortable with us. We've been trained to pretty much do as they do their will that they want to put upon us. Anytime we speak against their will, just like the lady said, shut up and dribble. LeBron, we made you famous dribbling the basketball. This is what the nation has done to us. So when we do speak up, and I pray the brother wake up to the truth, because the attack is going to be on this brother. Because why? He's trying to speak his voice. He's trying to speak his viewpoints that don't coincide with the what we call the synagogue of Satan, the devil the Bible speaks of. So right quick, to just expand on what I'm trying to say, let's go to Psalms 44, and we'll start at verse 14. Because I want to just share with you what's going on, man, as we try to wake up. Waking up and not speaking God's word, waking up not understanding who you are, you're going to lead yourself to destruction, man. I'm going to show you what's going on. Read that up.
The book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 14. Mm-hmm. Thou makest us a byword.
A byword is anything outside your God-given name. Read on.
Among the heathen.
Amongst the heathen. Understand, as LeBron's statue that he have here in the daughter of Babylon, they view him as an athlete and as an athlete only. He have no opinion, no way of speaking his voice according to his oppressor. So when he done this made him a target. Read on.
a shaking of the head
No respect for our nation, man. Read on.
among the people.
Read on.
My confusion is continual.
Because this is what LeBron is going to experience. This is what our nation is going to experience when you try to deal with this beast, the daughter of Babylon, on your own. You're going to be dealing with confusion of faith. And you're going to have an understanding like, why can I speak my own voice? Not understanding you already sold yourself to the devil. So by you doing that, you're going to have confusion of faces. Your confusion going to lead to why they hate us so much. And we're going to cover that in this class. Read on.
My confusion is continually
day in and day out. Read.
Before me. And the shame of my face hath covered me.
Because when you realize, when you make a covenant with the devil, you have no voice to speak on. You have no way to pretty much justify anything that the devil is standing on. So going through the scripture now, let's go ahead and go to the book of St. John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And like I said, I just wanted to show you a prime example of where when you do gain power in this wicked kingdom, you limited. You are pretty much a puppet of the devil. But I'm going to show you through the scriptures what's going on here, what we should be doing and what we have to focus on. Read on. Now, go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth.
Give me verse 31.
Verse 31. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him.
So understand, I just want to get that part because I'm sharing this with you, Israel. This is Yahweh speaking to our nation, but at the same time, he said to them Jews that believe on him. Read on.
If ye continue.
If you do what?
If ye continue.
This was very important. If you continue, read.
In my word.
And we know Yahweh brought the law, statute, and commandments. He spoke the truth. So he's addressing, if you continue in my words, that means, Israel, you must eat this Bible. You must dissect every aspect of this Bible because this is life for our nation. Read on.
Then are ye my disciples indeed.
And that's what's going to help us, man. That's what's going to get us to have a better understanding of how we should be walking in this world as we continue in this captivity. Read on.
And ye shall know the truth.
The law, statute, commandments. Read.
And the truth.
And the understanding of this truth, read.
Shall make you free.
Shall bring understanding. Shall shine light in darkness, man. Shall bring us out of sin. So I want to go into the understanding, man, just to verify deeper with Psalm. Give me Psalm 135 and verse 4. Because when we go into the concept of racism, of the ungodly have influenced the hearts of Israel, man. This being said, through our captivity, I share this with you. This is like the worst captivity we have been in, because all other captivities, we knew we was Israelites. This one here, we've been stripped from every aspect of our inheritance. So I want to always build up and stir up your pure memories to what's going on. So go ahead and read that out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 135, verse 4. For the Lord hath chosen Jacob.
So the Most High God has chosen our forefather, has chosen Jacob, read.
Unto himself. And Israel. For his peculiar treasure.
For that peculiar treasure, to build up on that, Israel. When we go into being influenced by the other nation, when we going into being influenced, this is what we have to understand who we are. We are that holy seed. We are that holy nation. Understand, just expound a little bit on holy. Give me that in Leviticus 20 and 26. Y'all roll with me, Israel. This is how I like to build up my class. I want to make sure I leave no one behind and we have a good understanding of what's going on, man. Just how the prophet did. They make sure they was distinct with the scriptures. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy.
And ye, the ye is the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be holy. Is no parts of us being that peculiar treasure if we don't hold strong to being holy. We're going to find out in a second. Read on.
Unto me.
Unto the Most High God. Read.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
For the Most High God is holy. Read.
And have severed you.
And has what?
Severed you.
And the Most High God has separated us. Read.
From other people.
This that understand what I want you to understand about being holy. We have to be set apart. Our focus cannot be the focus of this world. Our focus cannot be the same focus and mindset of the other nation. The Most High God has made us holy, has severed us from who?
Have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
So now we're dealing with the concept of being that holy seed, Israel. Now, when you think about being set apart, I want you to analyze the topic of the class. Racism of the ungodly has influenced the hearts of Israel, which we know the heart is the mind. So being influenced, knowing that we're supposed to be holy, only influence that we should have is of the Most High God. So I'm going to show you something. Go ahead and go to Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 16. We're going to build up the class and we're going to continue to get a better understanding. Being that holy seed, man, is an honor and a pleasure, man. Because guess what? Your oppressor didn't teach you that. He was our ancestors because they were taught by the enemy. This was never presented to us. So when we stir up your pure memory, we want you to embrace this and understand what we're addressing right now. So we'll get Deuteronomy chapter 26 and start at verse 16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 26, verse 16. This day the Lord thy God hath commanded thee to do these statutes,
which is these laws, read,
and judgments. Thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all thine heart,
with all your mind, read,
and with all thy soul,
with all your soul. So this is going into that covenant that agreement, I'm going to say to bring better understanding, that Moses was speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel that was given to him by the Most High God. Read on.
Thou hast avouched the Lord this day.
So pretty much at avouch, we have declared the Lord this day. Read on.
To be thy God. And to walk in his ways.
And to walk in his ways, read.
And to keep his statutes. And his commandments. And his judgments. And to hearken unto his voice.
And to hearken unto his voice, Israel. We understand his voice is found in this holy Bible, man. We're supposed to hearken. That means listen. The element of that listening is obeying. Read on.
And the Lord hath avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people. As he hath promised.
As he has what?
As he hath promised.
Read on.
And that thou shouldest keep all his commandments. And to make thee high above all nations, which he hath made, in praise.
So we're supposed to be high above all nations. Read on.
And in name, and in honor, and that thou mayest be an holy people,
a set apart nation, Israel. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God, as he hath spoken.
Okay. Now this is I want to share with you, this going into this, the covenant, the agreements that we had, that we still have with the Most High God that we haven't kept. And we'll address it like that. That being said, Israel, go into Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 24, because there's nothing new upon the sun. As we continue this journey, we have to realize we're dealing with the same spirits that we were dealing with back then. Moses addressed this in his writing. And as we understand that we're dealing with the same spirit, we have to prepare ourselves. How you do that? By understanding and studying. Through our precept, we get understanding. We have to come back to the oracles of the Most High God and embrace them. Check this out. This is what Moses was addressing back then, and guess what? It's still today. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 31, and let's start at verse 24.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 24. And it came to pass, when Moses had made an end of writing the words of this law in a book until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites.
Well, you know the Levite was the high priest at that time, read.
Which bear the ark of the covenant
of
the Lord, saying, take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, that it may be there for a witness.
For a witness, read.
Against thee.
Against thee. Understand, Israel, what is written can't be broken. So, this is going into that double-edged sword. We could have lived righteously by abiding his will, or this here was going to be our downfall by breaking the covenant. So he said, a witness against thee. Read on.
For I know thy rebellion. and thy stiff neck.
This is Moses speaking at this time. So I'm just bringing this understanding to you. Apparently, we were still getting influenced back then to do all the abominable things in this world. Read.
Behold, while I am yet alive.
Moses said, y'all was doing this, and I'm still here. At the time, Moses was addressing, y'all know the stories. Y'all understand what the Most High God did for us, brought us out of Egypt, and y'all still being rebellious now. Read on.
With you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Lord. And how much more after my death?
And Moses said, how much more after my death? And look at the question mark. You're looking at the King James Bible, the question mark after that. Moses was looking at the digression of the obedience that Israel should have. And he knew, like, y'all tripping now. After my death, I know y'all supposed to go on. So I'm sharing this with you because I want to show you something, Israel. Give me Genesis chapter 4 and verse 7. Because when you look at it, and I'm going to show you something right quick. When you're dealing with racism, and I get that after this precept, I want to show you something. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 7. If thou doest well.
Understand it. If we were to abide in the will of the Most High God and keep our focus towards the kingdom, he said, if thou was to do well, only element of doing well is being obedient to the law, statute, and commandment that was only given to us. Read.
Shalt thou not be accepted?
So understand what the scripture answered us with a question mark. Shall thou not be accepted? Read on.
And if thou doest not well,
then if you choose to go against what was written, read.
Sin lieth at the door.
What lies at the door?
Sin lieth at the door.
And understand the wages of sin is death. Read on.
And unto thee shall be his desire.
And when you deal with sin, whatever that sin that you desire, that's what you're going to get. Read.
And thou shalt rule over it.
And that sin is going to rule over you. It's going to control you. It's going to manipulate you. It's going to put you in a bad situation, which you read in James and tell us pretty much as sin progresses, it's going to lead to death. So that being said, I'm going to show you something, Israel. Now, we're dealing with racism. Go ahead and give me that. Read that definition of racism that you have for me out. Because I want to bring an understanding. Through Christianity, through the philosophies of this world, you have came into an understanding that you shouldn't be racist. You shouldn't, racism is a bad element. I'm going to show you. Racism of the ungodly is very bad. And is a very bad influence to even take in. Because I'm going to show you the definition of racism. Read.
The definition of racism. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. Understand,
our element of addressing who we are, standing up according to our inheritance, come from the words of the Most High God. We are that chosen seed. So the thing about being prejudiced, when you prejudice, you're pretty much making prejudgment on people without circumstance, without cause, or without effect. All our judgment is based on thus say the Lord. When we speak against the wicked of the other nations don't have a choice but to be wicked because they wasn't given the oracles of the Most High God. So when we speak about being superior, we speak according to the scripture that we're supposed to be above all nations. So when you're dealing with racism just mean racism, all that, it just mean that you're for your people. That's why when you look at the title of the class, racism of the ungodly has influenced us to pretty much lead us to self-destruct. So that being said, I'm going to show you something, Israel. Go ahead and give me Genesis chapter 27, and we'll start at verse 7, because before we get into this influence, I want to share with you, we got to go back to our forefathers, and I want to show you the blessing that was given to us through Isaac, and it was given to us, and he gave it to his son Jacob. Go ahead and read that. Start at verse 27.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 27. And he came near and kissed him And he smelled the smell of his raiment.
Understand, this is where Rebekah already has addressed Jacob about the blessing that Isaac was going to give Esau. But understand, Rebekah already was speaking to the Most High, and the Most High God guided her on what he needed to do. When you read up in verse 16 about the skin of a kid, which is a goat hair, that Jacob actually put on his neck and on his hand. So he smelled pretty much like Esau, a beast, pretty much. Read on.
And blessed him.
And what?
And blessed him.
Read on.
And said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
So this is part of that blessing. Read on.
Let people serve thee.
Let people do what?
Let people serve thee.
Israel, pay attention to the scriptures. Read on.
And nations.
And what?
And nations.
Read on.
Bow down to thee.
Read on.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
Be Lord over thy brethren. This was all blessing. Read.
And let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
Man, this sounds very familiar when you read in Genesis chapter 49, what was prophesied about what was going to happen to Jacob. Read on.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee. And blessed be he that blesseth thee.
And I'm going to share this with you now. When you look at this, when it goes into let the people serve thee and the nations bow down to thee, I'm going to share this with you, Israel, going into this element of what's going on right now. Esau has stolen back his birthright. Esau pretty much is living this life right now. When it goes into the understanding that all nations bow down to thee, guess what? When you're dealing with the nation of Edom, when you're dealing with the Idumeans, all of them come from the nation of Edom, which is Esau. Who is the nation bowing down to right now? So this is going into that border of wickedness. Now I want to jump down and show you real quick. Go ahead and give me that Genesis 39 and 40 to just recap what I'm saying about what's going on. This is where you got to be spiritual and deal in the righteous spirit of the Most High to get this understanding. Because when you look at it, Esau took his birthright back. He stole it. Because read that out.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
So this is the blessing that Isaac gave Esau, read.
And of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword.
And by thy what?
And by thy sword.
Because understand, you cannot actually ride on verse 39 without connecting verse 40. Because guess what? The fatness and all that was pretty much given to Jacob. But then he go into verse 40 and he's addressed what he's doing. By thy what?
And by thy sword.
Pretty much destruction, violence, read.
Shalt thou live.
This is how that nation living right now. This is how they got their birthright back. Read on.
And shalt serve thy brethren.
And
it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion.
Because they served us for a short period of time. But when his dominion came, read.
That thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. And
this is what's going on today, Israel. This is what's going on. Because like I say, the 1/3 understand the element of racism, the racism that's going on. We understand it's bigger than just what people, the natural eye is seeing. We know this racism coming from our brother, pretty much twin brother, which is Esau. So I'm gonna show you something. In that process, give me Job 9 and 24 right quick. Because I want you to put in your head. Racism pretty much just justifying that you for your people. So is racism a bad thing? It's bad when the ungodly embrace this element of racism. Because they take it to a whole nother level. Because when we get back in rulership, Israel, we're going to rule in righteousness. We're not supposed to be doing the things this wicked nation is doing now. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given.
Understand, when the scripture says the earth is given, read.
Into the hand of the wicked.
So who's controlling the world right now? This is what we have to ask ourselves. Read on.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
That covering was the covering of our nation. We are the judges of his earth. How did he do that? Through captivity. Through pretty much wiping out everything that we know to be righteous. Read on.
If not, where, and who is it?
So this is what's going on, Israel. The word is controlled by our brother and the people that hate the Most High God. This is what I want you to really understand and get a better understanding of. Now, let's go into Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8 right now. Because now we're understanding the whole concept of this influence. Why are we being influenced? We're gonna break it down through the scripture. Because the whole element of embracing your inheritance, coming back to this Bible, Israel, is to stir your mind up to what needs to be done and what has been done in the past, so we can find a way through the scriptures to continue and embrace the way to salvation, man. So go ahead and read that.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you.
So this is Paul, right? He's telling us, beware lest any man spoil you. When you go into spoil, you're going to pretty much the element of being destroyed mentally or physically. So it said, beware, let any man spoil you, pretty much, read.
Through philosophy.
Read.
And vain deceit.
Vain deceit. Things that's not going to benefit you, but more so benefit others. Benefit the wicked, which we're talking about, the ungodly. Read.
After the tradition of men.
Well, Yahweh was fighting against when he was here. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
And I'm going to give you an example of the rudiments of the world. Finish that out.
And not after Christ.
Because the rudiments of the world and the philosophies of the world goes into that concept of get rich or die trying. You know what I'm saying? This is where our people go into being influenced, being enticed. It was at one point we was in hard bondage where we was forced and pushed to do unrighteous things. But now we being oppressed to the point we being influenced by the elements of this world, the lust of this world, the lust of the flesh. All these things, the adversary, which we know is Satan, plays a role in this to pretty much deceive the nation of Israel, man. I'm going to show you something. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 9. Because Israel, I'm telling you, this Bible, this understanding, you must eat. You must walk a righteous walk to have understanding of these scriptures, Israel. Go ahead,
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 9. But godliness.
But what?
But godliness. With contentment.
Hold up. I'm on 69. Verse 9.
Verse 9. But the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
So, dealing with this influencement of the world, because we have a foundation to know that pretty much the nation that hates the Most High God is in rulership of this world. So what is his goal? Is to deceive God's chosen people, because he know he's not part of that chosen. So when you go into, read that again, but the what?
But they that will be rich fall into temptation.
Because when you're trying to be rich, when you're trying to stack money, and when you're trying to live a lavish life in your captivity, you're going to fall to what?
Into temptation.
Read on.
And a snare.
Which is sin, read.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
And when you do this, because when you go into that element of being tempted, being influenced, you're going to fall into that worldly lust. You're going to fall into the desires of the flesh, which we know is sin. That's why we always push for our people to grow more spiritual. Only way you can grow spiritual is abide in the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, which we know that is the only element of what's spiritual on this earth. Read on.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
And sin. Read on.
For the love of money.
For the love of what?
For the love of money.
This playing a big part in this influence with our nation. For the love of money, read.
Is the root of all evil.
Is the foundation to all evil. Because I'm going to share this with you, Israel. When they let us off them chains, they then begin to start oppressing us by the element of fame and fortune. Want to be successful. So the love of money, understand the Bible say the love of money. We're not saying money is a bad thing, but the love of money is the what? The root of what?
All evil.
Read on.
Which, while some coveted after.
Because some people lust after it. Some people have a stronger desire where they'll kill for money. Read on.
They have erred from the faith.
And that faith, nothing about This walk, Israel, deals with the lust of fame and fortune. This is what we have to understand. When you go into the elements of the characteristics of Jacob, he was pretty much a plain man dwelling in a tent. So read on.
And pierced themselves.
And they do what?
And pierced themselves.
Read on.
Through with many sorrows.
When you fall into this element, when you fall into being influenced to try to pretty much, and I'm sure what the influence come from, not knowing who you are. You're being engaged to feel like you have to live this lavish life. So when you engage in the influence by the ungodly, guess what, man? Yeah, you can reach that level, but when you reach that level, you're going to do a whole bunch of abominable things to get to that level. Because guess what? Your influence is coming from the ungodly people, the people that hate the Most High God. So, that being saying, let me back that up. Give me Micah 2:1 right quick. And I tell you, Israel, as you continue to grow, you must meditate on these scriptures, man. It's going to come a point in your life where your meditation is very important, man, to your salvation. There's no vacation in this walk. There's no, well, I'm gonna be Israelite for this month, but next month, because that next month when you do fall off, it could be towards your destruction. So when we dealing outside Israel, when we dealing outside the righteous, this is what we dealing with. Read that out.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity.
So the Most High God is addressing woe means destruction. Destruction to them that devise iniquity. I'm talking about that actually examine iniquity, which we know is sin. Read.
And work evil upon their bed.
And then working evil upon their bed. This is day in and day out. This is like this. The rudiment of this world understand who we are. Even though some of our people don't know who they are, they know. So they know they practice this. They working on this thing. Read on.
When the morning is light.
When the morning is light, read.
They practice.
They do what?
They practice.
Read on.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
And I share this with you, bro. They can act like they don't know, but all the other nations, man, they know what's going on. When they seeing us prophesying on the corners, when they seeing some of our nation coming back to these fringes, they might don't want you to know, but the majority see what's going on. Don't think they're watching these videos and they not going in that Bible. Don't think they haven't read Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Understand, they know what's going on, but the whole element to keep their kingdom going, they got to deceive us. They got to act like they don't know what's going on. Who God love everybody. Color don't matter. But they know. Behind closed doors, they know. So, that being said, Israel, let me go ahead and expound a little more. Because what you're seeing right now, give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 43. What you're seeing right now, I want you to take this into consideration, man. Because it's real. And it's real. Go ahead,
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger.
The what?
The stranger.
Read on.
That is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
So we're dealing with the stranger. All the nations outside of Israel. The strangers that was with us pretty much going to get very high. As you look at what's going on right now, all the other nations have a better opportunity than what we have. Because we haven't realized what's going on with us. Read on.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And we had a lower state, Israel. We had a lower state to the point where we feel like, hey, this is how it is. No, it's not, Israel. We did not fall out the sky into captivity. We did not fall out the sky into oppression. We put ourselves there. But now it's time to wake up so we get out of it. Read on.
He shall lend to thee.
You think the mother nation not understanding what's going on? When the so-called white man is ruling everything and the foreigners come over here and first thing they do, they get a $2 million business on and the white man said, well, how you going to pay us back double in interest? And you know what the Chinese man say? I'm going to set up a store in Nickerville. And he said, white man said, what you going to sell? He said, well, I'm going to sell big rims, gold teeth, and I'm going to do tattoos. White man said, you're going to pay us back in about 3 months because they understand, man. They know this Bible. They know our nation. They know we're a fool. They know we love to show wealth. So, read that again.
He shall lend to thee.
Read on, because they lend to us. Read.
And thou shalt not lend to him.
And like I said, when you look at any type of business, we have to go to the other nation for any type of help. And guess what? We're not able to lend to them because we don't have nothing over here. Read on.
He shall be the head.
And the other nation is the head. Read.
And thou shalt be the tail.
This is the curse, Israel. Don't think the other nations don't understand this. As we continue to grow and develop, but when you look at all these businesses, even with the warehouses, where are these warehouses located? Around our community. But guess what? Your oppressors stay way up north. They stay way in the nice neighborhood because they understand these curses. They would never let you know. Now, maybe the lower level, what we call the petty patrol people, don't have an understanding because they're a two-time loser in their own kingdom. But the hierarchy, they know what's going on. I'm going to show you something. Let's move forward, man. Give me Lamentations right quick. Go ahead and give me Lamentations 4:17. Because you're being influenced, Israel, to be disobedient. And you're trying to be successful and you're trying to win in your captivity. But trying to win in your captivity going to lead you to that lake of fire, man. And I'm going to show you. This is what you're doing. Go ahead and read that up.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us,
as for the 12 tribes of Israel, read.
Our eyes has yet failed for our vain help.
Because we trying to get help from the same nation that's oppressing us, man. We trying to fit in with the same people that hate us. Read on.
In our watching,
read.
We have watched for a nation.
For a nation. Understand what's going on. All the other nations, we hoping they can help us. We hoping they can put us on solid ground. Read on.
That could not save us.
No one gonna save us, man. Because you got to understand, the upper nation is above because we at the bottom. The other nation pretty much is leeches to the Israelites. This is what we have to understand. For them to rise us up, they got to go back to the bottom. They refuse to do that, man. I'm going to show you something. Go ahead and let's go into Luke chapter 9 and verse 23, Israel. Because I'm going to tell you, I got to deal with our nation, man. As we speak, we pray people analyze these precepts, man, and get a better understanding. But at the end of the day, we can only talk to that 1/3 that's going to wake up, man, and going to stay on that straight and narrow path. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself.
So understand, this is Yahweh speaking. In the process of trying to walk with the power, in the process of trying to be obedient to the Most High God, he said you got to deny yourself. What is that element of denying yourself? All the influence that you have accommodated in the daughter of Babylon that has led you to unrighteousness, you got to deny all that. You got to let all that go. A lot of our people don't want to do that, Israel. They have fell in love pretty much in the fortune and fame of this world. Go ahead,
and take up his cross daily.
That cross, and I share this with you, Israel. Don't let Christianity fool you. That cross is not that old rugged cross. That cross is going into your inheritance, your culture that was only given to you, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. So you got to take up that cross, which is just your culture. Read.
And follow me.
And do what?
And follow me.
Read on.
For whosoever will save his life.
So whosoever do what?
Whosoever will save his life.
Read on.
Shall lose it.
Shall lose it. So if you try to hold on to whatever you think you have accomplished in your captivity, but I share this with you, Israel, a lot of our people don't know they're in captivity. A lot of our people don't understand they're still a slave here. So I'm going to tell you, man, I always say it, the art of war is deception. If I could deceive you, you won't fight. So read on.
But whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it.
But the Most High and His Son is addressing. But whosoever loses his life for my name's sake, pretty much for His sake, that means keeping the commandments. That means fighting to be obedient in the wicked kingdom. You're going to gain that key to everlasting life. See, in your captivity, Israel, you were never taught the life after this. You were taught be good, go to heaven. You weren't taught be in rulership because heaven and hell is a condition. And I tell people all the time, the 12 tribes of Israel, we in hell right now. The other nations, they in their heaven. Definitely Esau. This is his kingdom. This is not our kingdom. Read on what we at verse
25.
Read on.
For what is a man advantage if he gains the whole world?
This is what we have to think about, Israel. What is your advantage of making $100 million a year, being a millionaire, being famous? What is your advantage? Read.
And lose himself.
What is your advantage in this world and you lose your soul? You pretty much traded a short period of time of I'm going to say fame and fortune in the daughter of Babylon that eliminates your whole eternal life and pretty much rulership of the kingdom. Finish it out.
Or be cast away.
And that cast away is put in that lake of fire, man. What advantage? Is that a fair trade? But your oppressor have never taught you who you were. Your oppressor have made things so glamorous for you in this kingdom where you can't see past anything. Your only focus is right here and right now. And I'm going to show you something right quick. As we deal, I'm going to show you something. Go ahead and give me that letter, and let's read part 1. Because I want to share with you, Israel, this battle is very much spiritual, man, and physical at the same time. But I'm going to show you something. Go ahead and read that title.
Blacks are fighting workplace discrimination over beards and braided hair.
So guess what's going on, Israel? In this captivity, and I'm going to share this with you, to make a slave, to continue to be a slave, you got to oppress him financially. You got to oppress him pretty much, and knowing that the Bible tells us man don't work, he don't eat. This is what Esau do. Read that title again out.
Blacks are fighting workplace discrimination.
Understand that we are fighting for on workplace discrimination. I'm gonna show you on what?
Over beards and braided hair.
Now go ahead and read that out.
Part 1. The Penn police offer an exception.
No, the top. One of them.
Israelite men.
Now we did it. We know we're talking about blacks, but we talking about the Israelite. So just dealing with the Israelite men. I'm gonna show you something. Read that out.
One of the latest cases involves a former University of Pennsylvania police officer who filed a racial discrimination lawsuit, which includes a complaint that his bosses harassed him for not complying with facial hair standards.
Facial hair standard. Read on.
Officers have to be clean cut, except for mustaches or short sideburns.
So now, when you go into this understanding, Israel, this is a brother that's trying to, pretty much work a job, have a decent living. Now, I went into the direction that show you in law enforcement and a lot of other things, even in corporate America, man, they train you to be pretty much effeminate, man. And I say effeminate on a level that's not always talking about homosexuality. We talk about the element of being upright and austere. They do not like nothing about our men being austere. When you read the concept of having a beard, Israel, that is a righteous thing. So I'm going to show you right quick. Go ahead and let's go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And like I'm sharing with you, Israel, this attack is way, way spiritual than what people believe to be. I'm going to show you. We're going to start at page 72, definition of beard. Go ahead, Al.
The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 72, definition of beard. A badge of manly dignity. So a badge of manly dignity, read.
as a sign of mourning, it was the custom to pluck it out or cut it off.
So in our nature, in our culture, when we shaved off our beard or whatever, that was a sign of mourning. You know what I'm saying? So this was what we addressed. This wasn't custom for us to do. Read on.
The Israelites were
the what?
The Israelites
read on.
Were forbidden.
Was what?
Were forbidden.
You don't think your enemy understand that, Israel? You don't think your oppressor understands shaving your beard off is a disgrace to the Most High God, because we were made in His image. So read on.
To shave off the corners of their beard. Probably because it was regarded as a heathenish sign.
A heathenish sign. Now I'm going to show you something before we get back to the letter. Go ahead and give me that in Leviticus 19:27. I'm going to show you something, Israel. Your influence coming from the nation that hates the Most High. So when you dealing, how you dealing, and you operate in the influence of the other nation, you're not operating in the spirit. The spirit have no element of I mean, the other nation have no element of operating in the spirit. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
So shaving your head bald, if you look at a lot of broadcasters from our nation, bald head, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, a lot of other people, they in our nation, they doing this custom, which is not our custom. Read on.
Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
You should not be cutting off the corner of your beard. That is a effeminate spirit. Only in our nation, understand, only people that don't have beards is pretty much little children and women. So the Most High God requires us to keep our beards on our face, Israel. But as you go into these wicked kingdoms, they train you not to have a beard. Go ahead and read on with that letter.
Joseph Lewis, a 6-year vet of the force, however, suffered from razor bumps, which made it painful to shave. The condition is common in about 75% of African American Israelite men or people with coarse, curly hair.
So, now, in the process of that, let me show you something, Israel. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 35 right quick. I'm going to show you how precept upon precept, when we go against the oracles of the Most High God, this is what's going on. I'm going to tell you, it's deeper than what we think, man. I pray our people wake up. This devil is doing everything to prolong his kingdom. Read that out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 35. The Lord shall smite thee in the knee.
In the knees,
and in the leg.
Read on.
With a sore box.
With a sore what?
With a sore box.
So as you understand, as we shave Israel, when you shaving it, they razor. And like I said, I had a job back in the day that I was shaving my beard. And I'm going to tell you, it's nothing like shaving and you get them pus bumps up under your neck. And it's 102 degrees outside. And you begin to sweat. And you working in Esau Kingdom, so you got a collar on with a tie. And that tie and that collar just keep rubbing against the bumps. I'm telling you, man, it's an undeniable feeling, man. It's very miserable. Read.
With a sore botch that cannot be healed.
That cannot be healed. Because guess what? You got to cut that beard day in and day out. Because with boss man, and I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, drop down to part 2 now. And you, well, go ahead, go ahead and finish out. What we with?
From the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head.
Then let's get back to the letter now.
Part 2. A no beard employment policies can be racially discriminatory. If it is not job related, it has a negative impact on the employment of Israelite men who have a predisposition to a skin condition that causes severe shaving.
This is the Most High God doing Israel. Read.
According to the U.S. Equal Employment, those types of cases are common. In 2015, an officer in the Atlanta Police Department had a similar showdown over his refusal to shave because of the pain and discomfort. Officer D. Jeans filed an EEOC complaint alleging racial discrimination after the department wouldn't allow Jeans to work because he refused to comply with its shaving rules. In another example, a former Baltimore police officer won a $60,000 settlement from the city in 2009 when his bosses gave him a plastic Bic razor and ordered him to shave.
And I'm sure this with you. They speak about this one individual that won his case, but think about all the other Israelites that deal with things like this at their job, Israel, and they lost their job, and they were pretty much oppressed. You can't take one person that won this case to the thousands and millions that's been oppressed day in and day out. Also, I'm going to show you something. Let's get a little bit on this too. Let's deal with the sisters of Israel. Give me that second part out, because I'm going to tell you, as we continue to wake up, man, we're going to deal with these type of things. We're going to deal with the influence. This is nothing but peer pressure, because now you're a part of the awakening, and you're trying to live righteous, but you're still dealing with Esau in this wicked kingdom. I'm going to show you. Let's deal with the sisters right quick. Read that out.
Israelite women. Under Title VII 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, employers are allowed to enforce dress code and appearance policies
Appearance policy. Read.
That include the regulation of hair.
There. Okay.
The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, which enforces these laws, states employers can impose rules calling for neutral hairstyles, which have to be applied to everyone equally, regardless of race.
I'm going to show you how this works here, bro. Read on.
Of course, some hairstyles are more particular to people of certain races. And what constitutes neutral in terms of hair looks is entirely subjective.
Because now you're dealing with neutral. Who's to say what's neutral? This is what you got to understand. The hand was given to the world. I mean, the world was given into the hands of the wicked. So pretty much you looking at the element when they say neutral, you're going into the concept natural. Or you're going into the concept of what is standard. But see, this is what you got to think about, Israel. Who sets the level of what is standard? Your enemy, your oppressor, the devil the Bible speaks of. Read on.
Especially when you look to history, which has been particularly unforgiving of black women's hair.
So this is what's going on now. You're dealing with the element of being influenced, but you're being pretty much cornered to a position where you can't be who you are because you're not accepted. You're not loved. You're hated by the people that's actually in rulership of everything. Read on.
In early Israelite civilizations, hair held huge significance. Hairstyles could be used to denote anything from tribe and social status to fertility and death. Slavery stole that.
Slavery did what?
Slavery stole that.
Read on.
As captive people's hair was shorn against their will. In the 1700s in Louisiana, women of color were forced to cover their hair so it would stop attracting the attention of white men.
So understand, in our captivity, man, this was taken from us. Our hair was cut. Our beards were shaved. We were pretty much treated like animals. And now it shows on the point of the sister had to cover their hair to pretty much bring attention off the white men. Read on.
Using scars and also announced their lower social status. By the end of slavery, it became routine for Israelite women to replicate straight hairstyles.
It became a routine. How that became a routine? Because you was influenced by the ungodly. This is where we get the weave. This is where we get all the other elements of the other nation hair. And I share this with my sisters all the time. The only time the other nation wear our hair is when they wearing a clown suit. You never paid attention to that, huh? But we wear their hair because we have been trained that is the level of standards. That's the level of what's considered to be natural. Read on up.
For greater social mobility in mainstream or white society, these often dangerous practices involve the use of harsh chemicals.
This is what our people do. Read.
But no harsher than the persistent racist ideology that straight hair is more beautiful than that which kinks and coils. And what in that part, it's alive and well today.
This is what's going on. So you've been influenced to hate yourself. You've been influenced to try to make sure you fit in with society. I'm gonna share this with you. Give me the deal with our women, man. Give me Isaiah 3:17 right quick. Because I'm gonna show you, man, as we continue to grow and get a better understanding of what we're dealing with and how we're being treated, we have the answer to what we need to do. Now, I know a lot of sisters. I ran across a sister before. She told me, like, well, I got to put this hair in my head because of certain situations with my hair. Some sister told me she cut her hair short, and, she trying to let it grow out, so she had to go buy some dog string hair to put in there. But I'm going to show you what's going on. In reality, Israel, our sisters is suffering from hair loss, and I'm going to show you why. Read that out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 17. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. So
what we're dealing with right now, we're dealing with the judgment of the women of Israel. Pretty much because they pretty much continue in sin as well. Our nation is in sin as a whole. The Most High God said He's going to pretty much smite the crown. That means bring baldness to their head, man. Read on.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts.
So this is part of the curse. A lot of sisters not understanding this, but this is part of the curse. You was never told it. You were told that you had bad hair. You felt that your hair fell out because that's just what it do. Now your hair falling out because this is part of the curse that the Most High God put upon our people. This is going toward that being disobedient. So I'm gonna show you something. So in the process of this going on, Israel, we continue to try to make correction through oppression. We continue to try to make what's wrong right through the influence of our enemy. Give me Isaiah 30:1 right quick, Doc. I'm gonna show you something, man. Because you going to get that weave in your head is not the answer. You going as a man trying to establish and provide for his family. You continue to work on a Sabbath willfully. You continue to shave your beard off, and I'm gonna share something with you because I know somebody right now probably typed in, well, a lot of police officers now they letting the word be beard. I'm gonna share this with you. I know several police officers has talked to me. I have talked to them personally, and they'll tell me like, "Hey, man, I got permission through my doctor that I can grow my beard now." I see these same brothers 2 or 3 years later, and they beard shaved off. Brother told me before. He said, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I had my beard on my face, I was making X amount of money." My sergeant, this is what the brother told me. My sergeant, and I asked, I said, "What nation your sergeant?" Well, oh yeah, he a white guy. He said, "My sergeant told me I will exceed and make more money and get promoted faster if I shave my beard off." So I said, "So brother, that's why you shave your beard off?" You know what he told me? He said, "Well, ask me how much I make now." I said, "Man, the brother pretty much was influenced by ungodly custom, man, by ungodly people." So he wanted to explain to me how much he was making, but not understanding. You just sold yourself, man. You just led yourself to be disobedient to the Most High God. So I just want to bring it out because I know some law enforcement now, some corporation now let you have a beard, but sharing with you, our people are influenced by the other nation. They want to be accepted by the other nation. So go ahead and read that for me, out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children.
So the Most High God say, okay, you want to be accepted. I'm going to show you destruction to you. Read.
Saith the Lord.
Said who?
Saith the Lord.
Read on.
Take counsel.
Because my old friend, I'm going to say, he took counsel from his sergeant. Read.
But not of me.
But he didn't take counsel of what thus say the Lord. Because guess what? Now you're in a position where you willfully sinning now. You had a pretty much doctor notice state that you can grow your hair. But you want to be accepted. You want to make a certain amount of money. You influenced to do evil. Read on.
And that covered with a covering, but not of my spirit.
That covering that we cover with now is the philosophy of man. You try to make it in the daughter of Babylon. Read.
That they may add sin to sin.
Read on.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
Because when you look at our nation going down to Egypt, we know Egypt means bondage. So pretty much going to Egypt, you having trust in your captivity. You having trust in oppression. Read.
And have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
In the strength of Pharaoh. Today, when we look at Pharaoh, we look at all the government, your CEO, these corporations, companies. America is a big corporation itself. So you trusting in oppression. Read.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Yes. Just like I just said. So this is what's going on, man. And I'm going to show you. Now, in the process of doing this, I speak to the 1/3, and I bring this as a seer, as an overseer. This is what we're supposed to do, to bring to your attention. Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 17. I'm going to show you something. Tell everybody, man, one body in Yahweh Shah, we're here to do the will of the Most High. We can't save anyone. We can only give our people, thus say the Lord, man, and pray that they hearken to it. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 17. Let not thine heart envy sinners.
So what does the Bible say?
Let not thine heart envy sinners.
Because I'm going to share this with you. A lot of time our people, they get caught up, and they be our people. They'll tell, hey, man, I know we don't supposed to do that, but if you do this, if you cut your beard off, Or if you work on Saturdays, they'll give you promoted. You'll get promoted faster. You'll make more money. You'll be more successful in whatever you're trying to achieve. What does the Bible say?
Let not thine heart envy sinners.
You can't envy a sinner, man. You cannot be like, man, I'm trying to get where he at. Read on.
But be thou in the fear of the Lord.
That's what we got to stand on, man. I don't care how much money you making or how much money you can achieve. You got to be in the fear of the Most High God, man. Read on.
All the day long.
Uh-huh.
For surely there is an end.
Uh-huh.
Thine expectation shall not be cut off.
And that's what we got to understand, man. The sinners of our people going to be cut off, man. You got to know, no matter what we dealing with right now, you can't get influenced to be disobedient. So I'm going to expand what, matter of fact, let's jump up to where, give me Proverbs 24 and verse 1 right quick.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 1. Be not thou envious against evil men.
Because I'm going to tell you, man, that's what we dealing with. We're speaking about our nation, man. We're speaking about the other nation. You're going to see a lot of things in this captivity, Israel, but you can't be jealous of it. You got to abide in this will, man. Read on.
Neither desire to be with them.
Uh-huh.
For their heart studieth destruction.
Because I'm going to tell you, a sinner always going to promote you to get to where they at. Say, man, you know what I had to do? I had to this, that, and other. All the abominable things up under the sun, man. They're going to promote sin. Read on.
And their lips talk of mischief.
All the day long, Israel. That's what you have to always take into consideration in this walk, man. I'm going to show you something. Give me Luke chapter 16 and verse 9 right quick. Because when you're dealing with being successful and trying to live wealthy, I want you to understand, man, the Most High God is in control of the rich and the poor. He controls all the elements. So in the process of trying to achieve something, we must achieve whatever we're trying to achieve in righteousness. If we have to go outside of righteousness, it's not worth us. It's not even worth us working toward that or having that, man, because it's going to lead to our destruction. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 9. And I say unto you, make to yourselves.
This is Yahushua. He say what?
Make to yourselves.
Read on.
Friends of the mammon.
So when you're dealing with mammon, you're dealing with wealth, fame, fortune. Read.
Of unrighteousness. That when you fail.
That when you do what?
That when you fail.
Because when you do this, you're going to lead to that destruction. Read.
They may receive you into everlasting habitation.
And that everlasting habitation, what the unrighteous is trying to deal with, is pretty much the foolishness of this world. Read on.
He that is faithful.
He that is what?
He that is faithful.
Read.
In that which is least is faithful also in much.
So the thing about it, your house shall address it. He that is faithful in least, because right now, us trying to be righteous, we are achieving less than the ones that's actually being unrighteous. Because why? We refuse to do things that's out the oracles of the Most High God. We're not going to be bought by money. So read that again,
He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
I tell people all the time, man, when you walk in this walk, you must be obedient on the smaller things before you be blessed with bigger things. You got to do righteous with little money before you can ever achieve big money. It's like this. Why would the Most High God bless you with more money, with more wealth, or whatever you think you desire, and you wicked as hell? You doing drugs, you buying drugs, you doing all the abominable things up under the sun with little money. How you going to be righteous when you get to big money? But this is what our people feel. Well, if I get more, I wouldn't be doing it. You lying to yourself, Israel. Read on.
If therefore ye have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon,
this is what I just explained. Read.
Who will commit to your trust the true riches?
That true riches is the kingdom of heaven. If you've been on this earth with a wealth and fortune and been disobedient, been wicked as hell, how you gonna be trusted to the key to the kingdom, man? How is that possible, Israel? This is what's going on. You're being tried right now. Some of y'all sacrificing right now, knowing that you lead yourself to the lake of fire in the afterlife, man. So this is what you have to understand. Let's go ahead and go into Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 33 right quick. Because it's a price to pay, man. And it's almost like this. You're trying to find a shortcut to the kingdom. You're trying to find a shortcut to salvation and deliverance. Because you're really pretty much trying to get some type of relief in your captivity. But you sold yourself to the devil, man. Go ahead and read that out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way?
Why do what?
Why trimmest thou thy way?
So understand in the element of trimming thy ways, a lot of our people, they understand what needs to be done. So a lot of our people, they pretty much trim their ways because they want to be accepted. They trim their ways because they be influenced by the ungodly nation. So the Most High is addressing to Jeremiah, why what?
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
To seek what?
To seek love.
So in the process of trimming your ways, you sold your soul, Israel, to seek me, to inquire. What are you acquiring? You're trying to be accepted. You're doing everything that make you acceptable in the dawn of Babylon. Read on.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
So this is the process. This going into that sinner. That sinner always going to tell you, because think about it, the sinner wants you to be a part of his life. Because why? You being a light, which we know is keeping the commandments, you edify, you pretty much bring more what we call expansion to his seed. So he don't want you to be that light. He wants you to join the team. This is what you have to understand, Israel. In the process of joining that team, in the process of selling your soul, give me Jeremiah 2 and 11 right quick. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11.
As you've being influenced, this is what you have to think about. Read.
Hath a nation changed their gods?
Read on.
Which are yet no God.
Because what you pretty much change your ways, trim your ways for, seeking acceptance in this wicked kingdom, you're dealing with an idol. You're dealing with the God of this world. You're dealing with the synagogue of Satan. And he's no God. Read.
But my people have changed their glory for that which doth not profit.
All the things that you achieving in this wicked kingdom and you selling your soul to the devil would not pretty much profit you in that kingdom. You will be put in the lake of fire, Israel. Get close to the end right now. But go ahead and give me Galatians 10, 1 and 10 right quick. Because when you're trying to be accepted, when you easily influenced by the other nation, and like I said, I always got to go into the elements of fame and fortune and money, because that's what Israel always chasing, trying to be accepted, trying to live the big life. This is what you have become. Paul spoke about this in his writing. Go ahead,
The book of Galatians, chapter 1, verse 10. For do I now persuade men?
So Paul is addressing in the process of me trying to walk in the righteous way of the Most High God. Do I now persuade man? Do I now try to please man? Read.
For God.
Oh, who?
For God.
Read on.
Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men.
Paul is addressing this. Read on.
I should not be the servant of Christ.
So this is what you have to understand. As you continue to try to please man, trying to fit in, trying to chase fame and fortune, you're not a pleaser of the Most High God. You're not a pleaser of the person that could pretty much kill the body and the soul. So knowing this, Israel, I'm gonna show you something. This is what the 1/3 understand, man. Give me Colossians chapter 3, verse 2. We'll start at verse 2. This is what the righteous, this is what the 1/3 understand about this racism. We accept it. We understand Esau has taken our birthright. We understand that being racist is for your people. And we dealing with a nation that's in control, that is truly ungodly, that truly hate the Most High God. Read that out.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 2.
So this is what the 1/3 is focusing on. And I pray that the 1/3 continue to push as we wake up the rest. This is what we should be doing.
Set your affection on things above.
Do what?
Set your affection on things above.
So being discriminated, we can't focus on that, Israel. We got to focus on what we need to do to get out of this captivity. We can't focus on things in this world, man. We got to focus on things ahead of us, which is above. Read.
Not on things on the earth.
Read on.
For ye are dead. And your life is hid with Christ in God.
So us being dead, we got to be dead of the foolishness. We got to die daily of the flesh, man. We got to understand. We got to live and walk in truth and in the spirit. Read on.
When Christ, who is our life.
When Christ with what?
Who is our life.
Read on.
Shall appear.
This is what we waiting on, man. So trying to get a 8-bedroom, 10-bedroom house, trying to get a jet plane or Range Rover, that's not your focus, Israel. We waiting on the all power to return. When Yahweh shall return, read on.
Then shall ye also appear with him in glory.
That's when we gonna shine, Israel. That's when we gonna get our glory. That's when we gonna get our pretty much fame because we kept the commandments. We persevered through a wicked kingdom. Now I'm gonna show you something. Go ahead and give me 1 Timothy now. Chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 6 right quick. We're coming to an end, Israel. Pray through the Spirit of the Most High and the Son, man, that y'all got some understanding of what's going on, man. Read that out.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 6. But godliness.
But what?
But godliness.
Because this is what we got to be aiming for. When you walking in godliness, you can't be influenced by the other nation. Read on.
With contentment.
With what?
With contentment.
Man, this is a word that I don't even think exists in Christianity. With contentment, man. You have to understand. Only way you're going to get that contentment is understanding who you are. Understanding that you're a slave in the daughter of Babylon. Understand salvation is not going to come until the Messiah come back. So we got to be in contentment, read.
Is great gain.
Is what?
Is great gain.
Understand that is that great gain, man. Read on.
For we brought nothing into this world.
So when you try to cut your beard, do all the unrighteous things of the Most High God, read that again.
For we brought nothing into this world.
This is what our people don't understand, man. We ain't bring nothing into this world. What you holding on to, what you holding on to, sis? What you breaking the commandments of the Most High God to make sure you don't mess up your credit score. You gonna work on the Sabbath because you gotta pay your credit card bill. I'm gonna share something with you, man. I tell people all the time. My focus is so strong on the kingdom, man. Hey, all that can drop dead, man. I ain't worried about that. There's no credit check to get into the kingdom, man. Read on.
And it is certain.
And it's what?
It is certain.
It's for sure, man. Read.
We can carry nothing out. And having food.
Having what?
Having food.
Not having steaks.
Having food.
Man, food. Read.
And raiment.
And what?
And raiment.
Clothing. Read.
Let us be therewith content.
So we got to be content, man. Focus on the things to come, Israel. You got to think about these things. You got to stand firm, man, on the words of the Most High God. Try to ball out in your captivity, going to lead you to the lake of fire. Last precept, Jeremiah 1:17. So the 1/3 understand, man, the racism of this world, we don't worry about that. We understand it's part of the curse. We understand this is going through the fire. Deal with it. Only way you're going to deal with it is you got to put your face in this Bible, Israel. You got to eat these words, man. When I say eat, you got to digest and understand what's going on. I'm going to show you. Read that out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 17.
Because the Most High God spoke to Jeremiah, and this is how he addressed him. Read.
Thou, therefore, gird up thy loins.
Get yourself in check, Israel. Stop being emotional. Stop worrying about all the things in this world, man. Focus on things above, man. Read.
And arise.
And do what?
And arise.
Read on.
And speak unto them all that I command.
So the Most High God is commanding us to do this. You got to stop focusing on the foolishness of this world. Read.
Be not dismayed at their faces.
And the Most High God is telling the 12 tribes, don't be discouraged, man. Don't be dismayed about what you're doing, walking in righteousness. Don't be influenced to sell your soul to the devil. Read.
Lest I confound thee.
But then the Most High telling Jeremiah, hold up. But if you do sell out, if you choose not to stand on the orders of the Most High God, he said, unless I confound thee, what?
Lest I confound thee before them.
Most High God say, if we don't do what he say do, we're going to die in the daughter of Babylon. So on that note, Israel, I pray that y'all got some good understanding, man, and understand we can't be influenced no more. It's time for us to wake up and come back to the Most High. And on that note, I say shalom.